Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hopefully, y'all having a blessed, wonderful day. God is good. God is good. God is good. God is good. Um, you look at the title, which sometimes I don't stick with the title, but just to kind of give y'all an idea, um, as it relates to stocks, what I'm buying. Well, I'm not what I'm buying, but what I'm going to do. And honestly, in a nutshell, I'm holding cash, just cash. I mean, I might buy some stuff. I did buy some SVOL, I think it is, whatever. Hold on one second. Hopefully y'all doing well. But yeah, I bought a couple of things this morning, but I was hoping it would drop, but it didn't drop enough for me because I was going to buy more. But it didn't drop enough for me. But SVOL, yeah, that's what I was trying to buy. I was hoping it went down more, but it didn't. So I didn't buy what I was intending to buy. I bought almost half of what I intended to buy, but as I said, it might turn around and go down on me, so I'll just buy more of it, buy half of what I intended to buy, and then I'll wait it out for the rest of it if possible. If not, I'll go another direction. But really, at this point, I'm trying to hold on to more so hold on to cash. I'm not really worrying about what's up out the pit. How you doing? God bless you, bro. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Get a chance, please hit that like button. Yeah, just as it relates to the stock market, SVOL. Is another ETF. I've had it for a little bit, but it went down. But I was trying to wait it out to try to get it to drop some more, but it didn't do that for me. So put half in there. That one pays out. So far since I've had it, it's paid out about 30 cents a share every month, which is, in my opinion, good dividends. I mean, again, investing, just so y'all know, it comes with its level of risk. I'm not telling nobody what they should do. I'm just telling y'all what I'm doing and why I'm the game that I'm playing. And if you get something out of that, you get something out of it. You don't. You might decide, you know what, I'm gonna do what he's doing. Might be a good idea, might be a bad idea. I don't know. But anyway, I bought some SVOL, and I've had this stock for quite a bit. Like, I had it for quite a bit, but I said it went down some. It went down more than what I originally bought it for, but I bought it to buy more. But I was waiting for a certain number, but it didn't give me that number today. But I'm still gonna hold on to it. I sold out of something else, Horizon or whatever it is, not Verizon, but it's like something Horizon. I've had it for a while. I doubled my money in profit with that one, so I just said, you know what, I'm gonna take that in the profit. I'm gonna stick it into another ETF, and that's going to increase my monthly dividend a little bit. But and that's what it's going to do. That was the reason why I made the move. This ETF is a little bit risky, but I wanted to get a more payout wise, so I just went that direction. But and I just kind of look back for y'all people that are on the live. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But I started looking back at some of the things that I was talking about. And this is why, I tell people, and I do my videos like this, and when I talk about stocks and investing and stuff like that, I usually, hopefully, it's most of my regulars. Rather they invest or not, it's their choice. But it might give them some type of insight, some type of help or whatever, where they possibly can, put a few dollars in, might make some money. But I was talking about UPS, and I'm looking to see UPS now where it's at right now because I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where it's at. But I know it was up a little higher than what we talked about. Yeah, I was right. It is up higher. All right, let's just say the day that I was talking about UPS, because I remember UPS was at like $96 a share, somewhere around in there. And right now it's sitting over $100, almost $102. It went over $102. So let's just say you, at that moment, bought UPS and said, you know what, I'm going to sell it. And you waited out. This is why the rich people get rich a lot of time, because they're patient enough and they're willing to wait and deal with, they're willing to wait. They basically willing to wait to get, for the outcome. Now, if someone had bought UPS right there, you'll be in the green right now. You literally will be in the green. So let's just say you bought UPS at the $96, and you only bought one share at $96. Right now, it will be that one share will be over $1 a share, and you would have made some money. Again, I hold for dividends. I'm not a person to do a whole lot of buying and selling. When I buy, I usually hold for the dividends, but that's the reason why. I just recently got dividends from UPS. And again, I'm in the red with UPS as far as the stock price compared to my average cost and the stock price. I'm actually in the red. So a lot of time when I talk about these stocks that I already have holdings in, the ones that I emphasize on is the ones that are in my account that are a lot less than what I paid for. Now, the reason why I do that is for the people that are my regulars on my channel. Let's say they don't really watch the stock market. They got a few dollars and they want to. So you know what? I got a few dollars to play with. I'm gonna take the risk. If they would have took the risk and bought UPS the day I was talking about, let's just say a little bit of money, they'd be in the green today. And just about almost all the ones that I mentioned, they will be in the green. And I'm not telling you that you should do this, and if you do this, you'll get rich, because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying in general, UPS right now is above the stock price is above the day I talked about. And of course, I'm stretching on getting out of the red with it, but that's the reason why watching the market every single day, trying to figure out where I'm going to invest my money at, being patient about it is usually why I get the payoff down the road. Now, I'm building a portfolio of income, and every 3 months, UPS pays out a dividend. But even if the person was going to buy and just, dump it off when they made some money, in hopes that maybe trade that stock, and this is what stock traders do. They buy this, they make some money, they take the money, they sell it, and they move money somewhere else. I don't do that, because I'm going to be honest with you, you take one bad move and you're stuck. You might be stuck holding the bag, where you might have to sell something at a loss in order to, look for other opportunity. I don't have that. I don't want to have that chasing mindset of, I want to chase the next hot stock. So I just try to get as cheap as I can, and I hold for dividends, and that's what I usually do. And the reason why I was emphasizing before, because at some point the economy starts to get better and better, little by little, like it's doing right now. The stock market is actually increasing, and they're not going to talk about it much, because it's going to put the administration in a good light. But let that stock market crash, and they'll be talking about it. But right now, the stock market is pretty much up. I don't go by the actual stock market. I go by my account, and it's everything that it dropped on the day that when it went that little while ago, when Trump mentioned about all the tariffs and stuff. All of that drop it did, I done recovered all of that and some. That's why I say you got to be able to ride this out. You got to be able to stomach, the bull crap. And I've had people debate me on, oh no, the economy's going bad. The stock market is crashing. That's an indication that the economy. Okay, so now that the stock market is up, what do y'all feel about the economy now? You know what I'm saying? Now it's up and recovered, and all that came back. So this is why I tell people you can't go by the stock market as a whole to say the economy is doing well or not. There's a whole lot of other things that's factors in it. And the case in point is what I'm looking at. Now, what I look at is stability. And I see the stock market stabilized, a lot more stable, a lot less moving around. That means that people are not moving money so much, because it's a stable market where they trust the market more, and Wall Street trusts the market more, where they don't feel like they have to sell off every time, unless some crazy stuff is said. Now, that can happen at any moment. Well, right now, they would have bought UPS, and then a while back, and I'm not saying I know all this stuff. I'm not saying that I got the answer to everything. I tell people all the time. I'm just telling y'all what I did and how it played out. I remember a while back before that, I mentioned about EOG. And that was probably on one of my earlier lives. And that was maybe months ago. And that was like, I'm going to buy some EOG. And I remember it was down to almost $100 a share, about 105. My average cost is 106 right now. It is currently sitting at $118 currently. So again, someone would have said, you know what, when he said that, you put a few dollars there, whatever it is, and I call what I do broke man investing. You don't have to have a lot of money. You just have a little bit of money to work with and do a little bit at a time, and you could probably make some money. It's not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just giving you insight on what I'm doing. And if this person was to do what I was doing at the moment I said it, they probably would have made some reasonably good. You know, they would have been in the green and collecting some dividends if they hold. If they would decide to hold, but you never know. I mean, you can't get the stock market isn't guaranteed. Like I said, one bad thing, but I just wanted to emphasize on that. Right now, I said SVOL is the next one that I'm working on, and it's still kind of where I bought it at earlier, a little bit higher, but not much. I bought it at $17.80, and I bought some more. Yeah, $17.80 when I bought some more earlier, and now it's at $17.85. But again, my reason for buying it is the dividend. Every 3 months, it's going to pay me 30 cents per share that I own, and I'm currently at 25 shares of that, just to give y'all an idea. So I'm at 25 shares. And if it goes down some more, I might go a little heavier, but I've been doing this for quite a while. So, and it's been working out relatively good. Am I rich? Dude, I wish. But I'm doing that. A little every day, just keep nipping at it. A little bit. I do keep nipping. I don't give up. And I've had some days where it looks ugly. I've had some moments where it looked ugly for a little while, but I keep nipping at it and just keep nipping at it. And we'll see where that goes. But and right now, if I was anybody and I was planning on right now, I'll be holding cash. I literally will be in my Robinhood account, I'm holding cash. I'm in cash mode. Letting whatever dividends come, I'm letting it sit because I'm gonna need Trump to say something crazy. So the market to react, and then I could probably buy something right now. But it's up a little bit more than I did buy some stuff, but I'm more so. I think, in my opinion, I would just hold on to cash inside your brokerage account if you can. Let it sit, put a little bit. Wait for an opportunity to for the market, something happening, something drop, and then jump in there. And I'm only saying this to stocks that pay out dividends. I'm not saying that for just anything. The ones that I always mention is stocks that pay out dividends. I do have stuff that don't, but I rarely talk about those stocks. Actually, I don't really talk about them at all, but yeah. And I do have quite a few, I got stock in Robinhood. I got stock in DJT, Rumble, LTRY, which is some type of lottery thing. I really don't even know what it is. And then there's a couple of other ones that I have stock in that don't pay out dividends. But I do have stock there. But the rest of my portfolio is pretty much dividend stocks. And that's easily 95 to 98% of the stocks that I own are dividend stocks. I bought some BGS Foods. I was up a little bit earlier today, a little more, but I did buy some earlier. I bought, not earlier today, but a little earlier in this, maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm now finally in the green with it. And again, I'm going to hold because I know they pay dividends. I bought Kellogg's cereal. I'm actually still in the red with Kellogg's. Interesting. I might end up buying more of that. Yeah. I might end up buying more Kellogg's. I didn't even notice that. So Kellogg's cereal might get some more money from me. So that might be my next move. It's down in the red for me right now. But I do have a couple of them. I'm going to probably sell if it double up on me. If I see some double money in profit, I'll probably dump it off. But we'll see. I just wanted to get on here and give you an idea of what some of the stuff I did do. And so far, how it's playing out. And so far, I'm actually batting 1,000 because everything that I did buy so far, it actually right now it's up. But who's to say what tomorrow is going to bring? So you don't know. It's the stock market. So right now it's in the green, but tomorrow might be a different story. Stocks might drop, might go down a little bit, whatever. But that's why I do this. This is exactly why I do this. And outside of my job, this is like, I love doing it. Like, I love investing. I enjoy it. And I feel like, I always try to tell people, like, you don't put all your money there. Like, don't go grab no. If all you got in your life is $10,000 saved, don't go put $10,000 in the stock market. Go put $50. Start there. Don't do that. Because there's a whole lot you're gonna have to understand, learn why the market is doing what it's doing. You're gonna have to learn what companies are out there, what they're doing business wise. You gotta know what the politicians are doing. You gotta pay attention to a lot of different moving things to understand why things fluctuate and move the way they do. And then you gotta look into what you're investing your money into. Some of them is almost like a no-brainer when you think about places like Walmart, maybe Target, or like I was talking about FedEx, UPS. These are well-established companies, and that doesn't mean that they won't go bad, but the chances are a lot less likely. Like Home Depot, Lowe's, companies like that are just massive. Tesla don't pay dividends, but they're still a big company. And Apple pays out dividends as a big company. So these companies that I be talking about, a lot of times, it's not a drastic amount of money that they pay in dividends, but this is just the route that I go, and I like it this way. I don't think that my way is the best way. I definitely don't think that. I don't think my way is the only way. Definitely don't think that. But I just do it the way I do it, and that's where I'm comfortable at. And I think, and when you start talking about investing or looking into investing in something, you got to know, you got to try to find your comfort zone, what you're comfortable with and what you're not. Because it don't take much. I mean, you got to get your emotions out of it. That's the hardest part. Like keeping your emotions out of it and try to keep it, your mind right and watching what you're doing and not being so quick to jump the gun. And sometimes you can be too patient. There have been many times I've been way too patient, and like the one I was talking about today, SVOL, I was saying I was waiting and I bought some, I didn't put it all there. That stock could possibly go up maybe double. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying that I'm sitting there like, man, I should have bought all of it when I had the chance. You can't worry about that. You can't. You say, okay, all right, that's a done deal. That's it. Yeah, I'm like, it's a done deal. I mean, usually my go-to stock when I ain't got nothing to buy is JPS2. I just say, okay, I'll just store money there, and then I'll leave some in my Robinhood account. The good thing with a Robinhood, when you got a brokerage money sitting in your brokerage account, even if you don't invest the money, you still gonna get some interest on your money. It's not just idle in there and not getting anything. And they do pay interest on your money. It's like 1%, 1.5%, something like that. But if you got money idle in this, they will still pay you some interest on that uninvested money. And I think that's a good thing. Some of the other ones do it too, like Cash App. I don't know if people realize it, but Cash App actually pays interest on you. If you use the Cash App and the savings part of it, they pay interest too. I have money, in a savings account in Cash App, and they pay about the same as Robinhood, 1.5% interest. You should never let your money just sit and not do nothing. It should always be making you some money. If the only way you make money is on your back, then you're making a mistake. Your money at some point in your life should start working for you as you're working for it. So if I go work and I'm just using 500 as a number. If I go make $500 for that week, I should take some of that. And I'm not, some people say bare minimum. I'm not even gonna say bare minimum. I don't care if it's $1. I'm dead serious. I don't care if it's $1. You should take at least $1. You say, I'm gonna invest this dollar somewhere, and this dollar is gonna make me a penny or 2 pennies. If you do that on a consistent basis, after a while, you're gonna find yourself saying, oh man, my money is making me just as much money as my back is making. Because you was consistent and you stayed on it. You didn't give up because it looked weird. It looked bad after a while. You stuck with it. Stick with it. You'll be all right. You stick with it. You'll be all right. And that's what I did. Stuck with it. And I'm probably say I've been faithfully doing this on my own probably about 6 years now. Before it was just, you invest in your 401k or stuff like that. And, I played the game with that too a little bit, but I love doing it myself. This is the best part of it is I get to do it myself. And that's it. So it's been okay. It's been okay. I don't use all my, like I said, I don't put just. Hey Joyce, how you doing? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, just talking stock. It's stock. Hopefully, if you get back to later, watch it. Hopefully, something in there might help you. But if you get back to watching it later, you'll understand what I was talking about. It wasn't nothing big, nothing profound. It's just, what direction I'm going investment wise. That's all it is. But that was the reason why I decided to get on this live. It's just for those who are my regulars who usually will watch the videos, may have been considering investing and stuff like that. And what I would hope for those that do are my regulars that's on here, if you wasn't investing, you started investing at some point or another as you was on my channel. So let me know how it's working out. Like, when you get a chance to get in the chat, it don't have to be now, but at some point when you're in the chat, just let me know how it's working out if you did. Because I would sure like to know. You know what I mean? Rather it was a good idea. Maybe you followed something I said and it worked or it didn't work. I mean, I don't know, but I'm hoping. I hope it does work. I just, I want to, bring something of value to my channel that may help somebody down the road, as opposed to just getting on here, screaming and hollering about the stupidity that go on politically or that I don't like. And I'm never going to stop talking about that to some extent. And then the other thing is just, getting on there, enjoying ourselves, having fun, laughing and joking and stuff like that. I don't want to, I try not to be so one-dimensional with my channel. Because sometimes you can get caught up in that. And that's good for other people. And the ones that talk a lot of politics and that's pretty much what they stick to, that's fine. I don't have no problem beef with that. I think that's great. But for me, I want to add some type of value. I don't want people just be here. We talk a lot and they don't get anything of substance out of my channel other than laughing and joking. So that's why, I linked up with Jay and, we try to talk about money and how you can better yourself, being self-sufficient, financially wise, and just being financially responsible as a whole. Like, I think things don't, I always tell people, I said, nothing has value until you want it. The minute you want it, it changes the dynamics. A car is, somebody can go build the nicest car ever. It only has value to the person that built it until somebody wants it and is willing to pay whatever it is that you want for that vehicle. And then that vehicle has now had that, whatever they pay for it, gives it that value. To some extent. So I don't believe in just, when you work for your money and you're trying to make it out of whatever situation, or you're just trying to better yourself financially, and I feel like as much as you can, never get off that gas. Invest. And I'm not just saying invest in the stock market. That's not so much. That's just what I do. But I think when I say invest, I mean, like, you might be interested in real estate. You might be interested in opening up your own business. Whatever. You know what I mean? So you might be ready to start your own business, service, or whatever. When I say investing, I mean, like, figure out a way to work for your money, but also have your money working for you. I know that the vast majority of people is not going to do that. Most people always have, and I hope they do. I hate to say it this way, but in order for me to make money, somebody have to be irresponsible, and it's crazy, but they do. You know what I mean? So I was, so that's where I'm at with it. So that's where you have to keep your focus there. Hey, Queen, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Out the pit was just on a little bit too, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But just talking about, you know how we do. We talk about money. We can whenever we can. I appreciate you stopping in, saying hello. Um, Please hit the like button if you can. Appreciate it very, very much. But you can always go back and watch it later if it's hopefully give you some value. But I was just basically talking about what I was doing, investing wise, stock wise. I try to once in a while go in there and give you an idea of direction that I'm going. And if you watch the video, you'll see where basically all I was saying was I'm holding cash. I did buy some. I did buy some stock SVOL, but the bigger pictures, I'm waiting for an opportunity. And being that the stock market is up, I just kind of I kind of pushed the brakes on that one. But so those are the type of videos. When I do these type of videos, that's what it's about. It's just when you guys come on, some of y'all might decide, you know what, I'm gonna start investing a little bit. I'm gonna take some of that little bit of stuff that he be talking about and fish a little bit there. And do it. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. It's not advice. I'm not telling you what you should do, but it's just giving you something that if you decide to, bingo, you got it. But yeah, that's that in a nutshell. But yeah, when I say investing, I don't I'm going to talk about stocks because that's what I spend my a lot of my spare time doing is looking at the market and doing it. So I am definitely going to talk about stock. But like I've been in real estate. I am technically still in real estate. I'm just trying to get my kids to handle that part of it. So they work, hopefully that works out. And then even with YouTube, I'm trying to build this too also and get this channel to the point where it's at some point become monetized. I mean, but you know what, you guys have been doing well with me. Appreciate y'all when y'all hang out and y'all sit in and watch these videos and stuff like that. I ain't that far away, but it takes work, and that's why like Out the Pit and Jay and Top to Bottom and Leah and some of the other ones that are that has YouTube channels like mine that are in the growth stage like I am. I'm still in the growth stage. We all are. Yeah, my channel's a little larger, but I know that doing YouTube is not easy. And it takes a lot. So so I try to go back and I go searching out people's videos, like the people that follow my channel that's on the regular. I try to go to that channel and then watch their videos and see what they're talking about and stuff like that. And, things of that nature. And I try to, as much as I can, because I'm being honest with you, like up until recently, my life was just like, so it started slowing down now. So I got a lot more time. And I'm looking forward to doing podcasts with Out the Pit. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Yeah, I put out a few videos about what's going on in California, and I'm gonna say that for another day. It's exhausting. It really is. It's exhausting. It's just exhausting. But with all that going on, the stock market's still going up. Interesting. Yep. And you know what? Out the Pit, you're absolutely right. That's exactly that is exactly the type of mindset that you have to have. You just gotta enjoy what you're doing, love what you're doing, and like you just said, I couldn't have said it no better. And that's exactly what I do. I just enjoy it. I have fun doing it. And like I said, I know what it takes to get a channel where it is. And I've learned a lot with YouTube. Just doing it, I learned a lot. And so I know what it takes and stuff like that. And it was it's a journey. It is. But I enjoy it. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do. But I do. I like it a lot, and I enjoy it. And you get to communicate with people you never met before. And before, when I would do lives, and you do it like with your phone and stuff, and you get all these people coming in, and yeah, I have my days when I'm ready for the smoke, and that's when I pick up my phone and I go live on my phone because I'll be ready for the smoke at that point, because I know somebody gonna come in here, and and they're gonna say some crazy, silly stuff. They don't know what they be talking about, and sometimes they do. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, bro. Today, I mean, yesterday I was touching on it a little bit when I was walking, but man, I am. I went on my phone yesterday. I didn't get the smoke I was looking for, but when I say, man, I was waiting. I was peaceful protest. Yeah, okay. But what you gonna do, man? But you know, it's funny. I mean, we are on the subject, but I'm gonna touch on this. I mean, look how many times, like, how you would think California would learn by now. How many times you got to tear up California before they learn by now? I mean, this is becoming normal behavior for California. Just tear everything up, tear it all up again, and they don't understand what they're really doing to the, like. I just don't get it, man. And like I told, like when me and Jay was on, and I said, man, the wealthy are just sitting back, like licking their chops, waiting. As soon as it all died down, and all the destruction is done, and everything is, they're gonna listen. The people that's getting their businesses tore up don't care because they got insurance, and insurance gonna pay for that. That's why I see y'all not hurting nobody. And then I laugh at these people out here, they're waving these flags, talking all this, this and that and that. No, like y'all waving these flags to other countries. Other countries. If that's where you're loyal to, why you not there? Trump literally said you can go on an app. This is how much they full of crap. Trump and them took that same app and said you can self-deport and they will pay for you to go. That's how you know they full of crap. They wanted this so they have a reason to tear up there and steal and take and loot. Because if y'all really care that much and you waving a Mexican flag around in whatever country that is, I don't even know what flag it is. But if you're waving it, if that's your loyalty, you're loyal to that, then why you didn't go on the app and self-deport and go back? That's my whole point. You ain't waving no American flags and protest. Because if I'm protesting something America's doing wrong, I'm still gonna wave American flag because I'm an American citizen. And I'm gonna tell you you're doing wrong. I'm not gonna show my allegiance to another country while I'm in your country waving the flag. But the part that puzzles me is that, man, I want to know when we as Americans as a whole going to get sick and tired of it. Like, how much of this we going to take? Because at this point they keep going way too far, and they still and they haven't learned yet. They haven't learned yet, and to me, they should have thrown Gavin Newsom in jail, and that mayor. Both of them should be sitting up in prison for treason, because they could have put a stop to this long before it happened. And they get Gavin Newsom up there talking about Trump administration. Oh, he shouldn't have never sent the National Guard. No, you stupid idiot. That's not what he's talking about. You should have let ICE do their job, got them illegals out of there, like they said, dude. Come get the criminals and all the illegals out of there, and it wouldn't have never escalated. The reason why it escalated to this point is because you showed the illegal immigrants way more support in that what they're behaving and what them breaking the law to get here was okay with y'all. You didn't care 2 cents about your citizens in California. You gave more respect and more honor to the legal immigrants who broke the law to get to your country, to come into your town, and you care more about them than you care about the citizens of that state. So therefore, when you start talking that stuff, you should have let ICE come in. You should have let them do their job, and you should have let them do it as quiet as possible so you can get them illegals out of there. Otherwise, that means that you are more in support of the legal immigrants and criminals than you are everyday hardworking citizens in your state. And I would debate that with anybody. And I told him I want the smoke. I want it. Bring it. I want it, because the minute they start talking that retarded stuff to me, I'm coming back with mine. Because I know. And now they're encouraging them in other cities to do the same thing. If you listen to what these Democrats are saying, they're literally trying to get the other cities around the United States, sanctuary cities, who is for black people, black descendants of black slaves, sanctuary cities that was for descendants of black slaves. But whatever. Now y'all want to give everybody else that privilege. Okay. Yeah. So my point is, now they're trying to encourage other people, Kamala Harris, all these other Democratic politicians are trying to get other people in other cities to do the same thing. You listen to what they're saying, that's what they're trying to do. Encourage them to tear up. And guess what? They ain't tearing up none of them nice neighborhoods. I guarantee you they ain't gonna take their behind around on Republican gun-toting type of community and think they're gonna be able to fly that stuff. They're gonna put they ain't gonna shut all that down. They only doing that where they know they can get away with it. I want y'all to get y'all the point. This is why I'm such a 2A advocate. California make it down there impossible to carry a gun. I don't know why people would listen, but California makes it down there impossible to carry a gun. All right, so you own a store in California, right? You have no way to defend yourself. California governor don't want Trump to send the National Guard in there to protect the businesses and the people of the citizens that's actually there, right? Now, you have no way of protecting yourself. I watched these people broke into a store, pushed the owner, he's using a broomstick. This is how embarrassing that is. He got a broomstick in his hand, trying to swing at the people, trying to protect his business. That's his livelihood. And these people are coming in there trying to steal his stuff and run out of there. How is going into that business, stealing his merchandise, peaceful protesting? If I was a business owner, I will shut down, sell my business, and get as far away from California as I could. You had to be out of your mind to stay in California under that type of leadership. Because over there in California, they think they're rulers and kings. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's going to be a long summer. I mean, the first time I think I seen them tearing up in LA, I think it was the Rodney King verdict. I think that was it might have been before that, but I'm going to just go with the Rodney King verdict. Tore up LA. And this is a normal behavior over there now. Every time they mad about something, tear it all up again. Tear it all up again. Tear it all up again. How many more times y'all gonna let them tear up LA before y'all realize that the approach that y'all keep having to this is what keeps ending up like this? They will not tolerate that in most places. Oh yeah, definitely. They will not tolerate that in no other place. They wouldn't tolerate it. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. There's a different lesson in the state of Pennsylvania. There's a different behavior in Philadelphia. When you get outside of Philadelphia, there's a different behavior. They will not tolerate that. And you know what? Out the pit, I'm going to be honest with you. You're probably 100% correct with that. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Yeah, we're gonna have to do Out the Pit, Round Out the Pit podcast. But we already know we're gonna be on Out the Pit podcast. But Out the Pit, you already know, man. Anytime you want to come on, you just put the word in, and I'll send you the link, and you in. So you already know that. I'll just send you the link, and you in. Yeah, but that's where it's at. And I don't understand why people is okay with that. I just don't. Like, if I live, I would be gone from California. I wouldn't even dare stay there. I wouldn't dare stay there. I wouldn't stay there. Because I'd be like, how many times I got to keep? And then, like I said, they don't even want their citizens to have guns in California. So if these psychopathic people start to run up in your house, how you going to protect yourself? You going to wait for the law enforcement when they don't even want when the governor clearly said he don't want them there? So who's going to protect the citizens if you don't send more help? That's telling you that they want that. They don't want the help because they want the destruction. He mad because Trump didn't listen to him and sent the help anyway. See the difference? If I cared about my citizens, I'm going to, the law-abiding citizens, I'm going to stop the unlawful act. But if I don't care about the law-abiding citizens, then I'm going to try to stop it. I wanted to continue on and give the unlawful citizen people the right of passage. Yeah, that was Nancy Pelosi who did that because Trump tried to do it. He told him, the January 6th rioters is nothing compared to this. If you look at that, yeah, one person got killed, but if you look at how they died, it was nothing compared to this. It was like, I'm not saying what they did is right. No, that's not what I'm saying. My point is, they went after all of these January 6ers, threw them in jail, and did all of this stuff to these people. Meanwhile, the Capitol still looked relatively the same as it did. One person got killed, and it wasn't like Nancy Pelosi was the one who was supposed to call in the National Guard, and she refused to do it. And she's on tape saying it, admitting that it was her fault. Admitting it was her fault. Trump said it. When he said, listen, there's probably going to be more people than we expect. We need to have the National Guard out here. Nancy Pelosi did not pull the trigger on that one. Well, my thing is this, is that I don't always agree with pardons, but I'm going to tell you where with the pardons, it's like this. They didn't get away with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you pardon somebody, they went to jail. And a lot of them went to jail with sentenced and gave harsh sentences for stuff that they shouldn't have been given harsh sentences to. Should they gotten away with it? No. But a lot of them went to jail. A lot of them lost their livelihood. A lot of them lost. So they didn't get away with it. He just said enough is enough, and he pardoned them. And I don't think he pardoned everybody, but the ones that got unfair sentences, he pardoned them. So I'm okay with pardons. Just like now they're pardoning. Well, no, I'm not okay with that part. But I was getting ready to say the Larry Hoover. I wasn't okay with that pardon, but he did make that lady I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but he made her the pardon board czar, and I guess he's charging her judgment with that. But I don't have a problem with pardons depending on who you pardon. But my thing is this: they didn't get away with it. A lot of them suffered something out of that. It wasn't like they just got away with it. Now I want to see how many of these people are going to get away with it. Now this right here is way worse, by far worse than what January 6th even come close to. And Black Lives Matter, when they tore up all of the cities around the country, was by far worse than what January 6th was. But yet these people were getting let out of jail for nothing, and let out of jail didn't suffer anything from it. Stole, looted, tore up the city. City of Philadelphia right now still got plenty of residue left from what they did. And ain't nobody, and they still didn't send nobody to jail. So I don't have a problem with pardons. When he pardoned those, I'm like, okay, but they didn't get away with it. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't pardon everybody, but the vast majority of them they pardoned. If you look at what they were in jail for, like, well, for insurrection, first of all, the Capitol is a public building. It's not like a private building. That's a public building. So the citizens technically own the Capitol. All that stuff is really public stuff. It's not owned by the government like they think it is. So you're not really trespassing like they try to paint the picture. But that's the way they want you to believe. But I'm not saying that what they did on January 6th is okay. But I just think that they made it. They tried to make examples out of people that there wasn't. If you go look at the Capitol, you go look really into that story, and all that happened. It wasn't. They made that thing. They blew that thing up way bigger than what it was. Yeah. Everybody had parts. Exactly. It's just like, my thing is I don't agree with people getting away with stuff. That's my point. It's like, as long as you suffer something, then I'm okay with it. That's my whole point. Like, if you suffer something, you went to jail, maybe 30 days, 90 days, something like that, I'm okay with that. I don't believe in giving people harsh sentences and stuff like that for stuff that, depending on. So I guess feel like you got to look at the cases and say, okay, if they went to jail and they suffered that, Nobody should be sitting in jail for 5 years for climbing a wall, for scaling a wall. That's my whole point. I'm talking about. What's up, top to bottom? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you're on this live, please hit that like button. Like what? I'm not too sure. Like, you talking about like the Section 8 and welfare and that type of stuff? You talking about like that type of stuff? Like if I'm trying to I'm gonna give you a chance to answer, but if as it relates to like welfare and Section 8 and stuff like that, I don't like handouts. So yeah, I think you need to go look further into that when it comes to Medicare and Medicaid, because they're not taking black people off of Medicare and Medicaid. What they're doing is they're getting rid of. They're not cutting Medicare and Medicaid. They took 1.4 million people off of Medicaid that was not supposed to be there. So they're not cutting Medicare, nor are they cutting Medicaid. What they're doing is they're getting people off of there that should not have been getting it in the first place. The reason why Social Security, Medicaid, and all that stuff is suffering financially is because we got a whole bunch of people on there that should have not been getting it. They shouldn't have been, but yet they're getting it. And my thing is this: for people that are about to go to retire and people that's supposed to be the people that's supposed to have and is supposed to get it is the one should be getting it. We should not. There are people that lives in other countries. They're not even American citizens that's been getting this money, getting Medicare, Medicaid, and they're not even citizens. And then you go look in the last 4 years when Biden got in office, how many Social Security numbers they've been adding in since he's been in office. And those people were collecting Social Security and they shouldn't have been. It wasn't even legal American citizens. They was handing the money that we all work for. The American citizens have worked for. And that's exactly what you're absolutely right, top to bottom. And, what people don't understand, and this is just my perspective, and this is where I always keep trying to tell black people. Go on. Yes, I was getting ready to get there. I was going there. I was going there. It's what in order for you to fix what's going on right now, like far as government and reading the hearings and watching what these people are doing. This is not about black or white. Number one. Number two, the problem I'm thinking with, and I'm going to go to the black side of it since we're talking about the black side of it. The problem with the black side is that we keep thinking we need government. That is the biggest mistake we keep making, is we keep thinking we need government. And this is exactly why I'm so glad that I voted for this administration to get in office. The reason why black people are suffering so bad financially, and this is where we got to go down this rabbit hole since we're on this topic. This is why we got to go down this rabbit hole, because we're on this topic. We don't need the support of the government. This is where you got to understand that. The black community do not need the support of the government. If you go back and you look history-wise, if you look at Black Wall Street, which they call Black Wall Street, that was one of the most independent moments that the black community had, and there was no government involved. We took care of our own people. We basically created our own government. And the minute we start embracing the government and handouts and help from the government is what destroyed the black community. And this is why we don't need nursing homes funded by the government. We don't need daycare centers funded by the government. We don't need welfare funded by the government. We don't need none of the stuff that the government keeps telling you that they're doing by funding, because what we don't pay attention to, and this is where the problem starts at. When they start saying they're going to fund this stuff, by the time it reaches down to the local level, there is very little there for the people that it's supposed to go to. Now, here's where I keep trying to tell people, and this is where we keep making a mistake at, and this is why we get sold to the Democratic Party often more than we're supposed to. When I was a kid, we did not have funded daycares. The reason why we pay so much for daycare is because government got involved. And they used a slick way to do it. Now, depending on your age, most of us did not have daycares in our community. We had people in the neighborhood that watched our children and we trusted them. Now, I'm not talking about me personally because I was a kid at the time. And my thing is this, is that we've been voting this way for over 60 years, and where has the black community has gotten so far? And this is where I'll be talking about. Now, I'm glad we can have this conversation. And that support system has been the downfall of the black community. We don't own nothing manufacturing wise, very little. We do own some, but we have a very little impact on what we do in making this in America. And what happened was, when we invited the government into our communities, we invited the destruction of our community. That's where the mistake is at. We need to push government out. We should not be forced into this. We should be pushing them out of our communities. And we need to get back to talking to each other, getting to know our neighbors, and getting more closer to a community and becoming a close-knit community. Now, here's the thing. We missed the point. Now, I'm not saying I don't know about what you believe or what anybody on here believe. But if you look at it from a Bible perspective, the Bible says it takes a village to raise a child, right? The minute you start separating the village, the child get less care. Government ain't got nothing to do with that. That's the village people take care of their own. But the minute an outsider comes in, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem. And for some reason in our community, we keep falling for it. And the way they make you fall for it is they offer you housing that you don't have to work for. They offer you food stamps that you don't have to work for. They offer you all of this stuff. But what did they tell you had to do? You had to get rid of the man. You had to break it up in order to get these benefits. Because they know, and most, not all women, but by nature, women look for provisions. So if I'm going to get provisions from the government, meaning I'm going to get my housing and I'm going to get a food and the necessary provisions, then I really don't need him. Contracts are not welfare. And my thing is this, is that I hear when people keep talking about Elon Musk, but Elon Musk actually did what he said he was going to do with the money. And he paid it back in full with interest. Now, I don't know about David Sack and I don't know about Peter, but I know 100% that Elon Musk borrowed money from the taxpayers' money. He paid every single dime back with interest, and he is by far the single most person that paid more tax money than any single person in America, United States of America. Now, I can't speak to David because I don't know much about him, and I don't know. And I'm not saying these people are perfect. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that these are loans that they paid back, that he paid back. Now, I don't know about David, and I can't speak to Peter because I don't know about these two. But I know 100% that Elon Musk paid it all back. So my question to people that's asked those questions, I said, how much money did the people that have been on welfare for 18 years pay back into the system? How much did they pay back into it? Because these people are billionaires and they're paying taxes, so there's something coming back from whatever they're doing. How much are the people that are collecting Section 8 and the people that are collecting welfare and food stamps and all this stuff, how much money are they paying back into the system? Because I worked on my life. I bust my behind. So how much of the money these people, listen, when I look at it from a Bible perspective, the Bible says that if a man don't work, he shouldn't eat. And if you look at man, that don't mean just man, that means anybody. And if you don't willing to work, you shouldn't eat. It was God's intent for us to work. That's why it says that laziness leads into poverty. The people that are lazy is the reason why they're there. It has nothing to do with what handouts is. One of the worst things you can keep doing to a person, because they will never see the ability to get out of it. They only going to see you as their provider. Right. And they should not. My thing is, this is they supposed to be a hand up, not a hand that's not nobody just keep milking the system through. So I'm not one that feels sorry. I grew up poor. They became billionaires from government because they had something to offer. We would not have Teslas. We would not have Starlink. We wouldn't have Elon Musk. We wouldn't have never got those people back from outer space if it wasn't for Elon Musk and that money that they spent. So I don't have a problem with giving out government contracts if you honor the contract. Just like the Bible says, every man is worthy of his hire, and be a good steward over that you have, that you're given charge over. So if I have a bill that I have to pay and I don't pay that bill, I'm the irresponsible one. I should not be trusted with anything else. And I'm not speaking to the other two because I don't know about them. But that's not helping. We have Starlink because of those government contracts. We have rockets and stuff for those because of those government contracts that they gave to Elon. Now, I'm not talking about the other two because I don't know about the other two. I'm only speaking about Elon because I do know about this. And we have Tesla vehicles and we have self-driving vehicles. So it's not like he took money and didn't do anything with it. He made something that is better for the United States of America. And my thing is this, and he provided jobs for American citizens. And he provided jobs for American citizens. Yeah, I mean, and this is not, and my point is this, is that you can't strike somebody, because my thing is this, is that if you want to look at where people make money at, how did Nancy Pelosi get $140 million net worth and she never invented anything? If you want to look at where the money is going, Elon Musk has a business, so I get what he got and made the billionaires and stuff like this. I don't have a problem with billionaires. I think that they whatever they did to get there should be studied and helped, and people should learn from that and create something that the government might even fund it to the point where it's actually done. You can actually provide something that America uses every day. But why would I continue to give money to something that doesn't produce anything? See, right now people work for Tesla. So that government contract that they gave to Tesla, and he making Tesla cars, he's making satellites and stuff like that and stuff. Those are government contracts, also provided jobs in those communities. That's a good thing. But what did Nancy Pelosi provide for that $140 million network she got? What did Obama provide for that $70 million network that he has? What did all of these politicians that have multi-million dollars provide other than lying to you about what they're going to do and never doing it? That's the whole point. If I go, the reason why they're going to fund stuff like that and you get what you pay for is that now they're providing jobs. Those jobs are going to provide tax revenue. And it's also going to provide jobs for people. So I don't have a beef with that. But what I have a beef with is when you got all this money, you can't justify it. Now, if you're a billionaire and you don't have no reason to be a billionaire other than you stealing people's money, then I got beef with that. Right. And my thing is this, if I loan you $20 million and you pay back the $20 million and then you pay $10 million in tax revenue, and then all the people that work for you are also paying in tax revenue, that was a good investment for the government. And I believe that most of that came from Obama. It wasn't even Trump that gave him those contracts. I think it was Obama that gave them all. And let's be clear, they're not cutting elderly out of the Medicare. The only people getting cut out of that stuff is the people that should not be there, that's taking advantage of it. Now, there might be some mistakes in that process of them cleaning that up. But like I said, if you're an American citizen, you are entitled to that if you paid into the system. If you paid into Medicare and you paid into Social Security and you paid into that and you reach the age where you're supposed to get it, you're entitled to it. No one should be able to take you out of anything. I don't care who you are. They can't take you out of that if you're entitled to it. The only people they can take off of that stuff is people that's not entitled to it. And I'm sorry, if you didn't pay into the system, you should not benefit. That's just like going into the bank and making withdrawals, but you never put no money in it. That's called robbery. So I don't care what age you are. If you didn't pay into the system, you shouldn't benefit from it. My parents worked. Now, they work. So they should be able to draw Medicare, Social Security, whatever it is benefit that they work and put the time in to get, they should get. But somebody who's been draining the system for 18, 20 years, never worked a day in their life, and now you drawing Social Security, unemployment too? I mean, Social Security and Medicare too? How is that fair to me? I worked. It's cutting the people off of Medicare that should not be there. I'm telling you, that's what it is. I've seen it too. I know what you're saying, but it's not cutting people off that should not be there. I'm telling you now. It's not cutting them off. It's cutting the people off that should not be there. They're not cutting the money that go in the rent. They're cutting off people that should not be there. So when you read that bill, you should go back and read it real, real carefully. They're cutting people off that should not be there, so that they can give tax relief to the people that actually work instead of paying all these extra taxes that they should not be paying. So that, and along with other stuff that they're cutting wasteful spending out of. No, when you talk about doing the hearing in that bill, you need to know who's reading it when they're talking, because they're trying to use talking points that is not truthful facts. I know what you're talking about, and I'm telling you, they're not using truthful facts. You should go online and read the bill for yourself. And it's a lot. Believe me when I tell you, it's a lot. But before you listen to what they saying on TV, before you listen to what they saying in Congress, before you listen to anything that they saying across that board, go online and take your time and read through that bill very, very carefully, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Listen to them talk online or in Congress. They will say stuff real slickly to make it seem like it's something that it really isn't. That's why you really should just take your time and go read the bill carefully. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. Read the bill for yourself. Don't listen to nothing you hear. Nothing you hear on the Congress. Go read the bill for yourself. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go read the bill for yourself. That's on it. It hasn't passed yet, so everybody's going to argue their points of what they want and don't want. So it hasn't actually passed yet through the Senate. But what I'm trying to tell you is, you should read the bill yourself, because you're not going to get what you think you're getting out of what they're saying, because a lot of what they're saying is not actually factual. They say it in a slick way to make it sound like something that it isn't. They're not actually going to read the bill the way it should be read. I'm telling you, they're going to leave stuff out, because what they want to do is they want to spook people into believing something is there that is not. I done seen that game over and over. That's why I don't even hear nothing. I'm not talking about the Republicans. I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm just talking about, you should go read the bill for yourself. That's what I'm saying. And if you still come out with that perspective after reading the bill carefully yourself, then it's all good. That's all I'm saying. If you still come out with it with that perspective, it's all good. But me personally, I do not care who you are. If you did not pay in the system, I don't care if you white, black, Hispanic, whatever. If you did not pay into the system, you should not get a dime out of it. No, it's all good. Listen, it is all good. We family over here. And when you hear me talking, if I may sound like I'm going to be a little bit passionate, it's just that we, sometimes I try to make my point. But here's the thing. You're like family. And my thing is this, is that if we cannot sit back and educate each other, rather I'm right, or rather you're right, or rather I'm wrong, or rather you're wrong, if we can't have a conversation about these type of issues, we will never be able to educate ourselves and better our communities. And don't get me wrong, I'm for all community. I'm American. I'm for every community. But I know the damage that I've seen happening to our communities because we have consistently voted the same way. I can't tell nobody how to vote. That's your choice. But I mean, my passionate thing, my passion is that I want to see us do better in America. And I'm not going to do it the same way we've been doing it, because it hasn't been working. And once I shifted how I was doing things got better, and almost instantly. Once I pulled myself out of it. And I said, this is what they've been hiding from me the whole time. It's because it's not given to us in our communities like it should be. What they want you to do is they want you to believe that America has something against you. Yes, and they want you to believe, and I agree, that the America has something against you. And I grew up poor. When I say poor, I grew up poor. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I look back, I say, man, so when they start talking about pulling yourself up by your bootstrap, I wish we would have told every black person that same thing and we would have embraced it, because that's what works. When you get government out the way, it works. I'm dead serious. It works, and it works well. It works extremely well. When you get government to stop funding these type of programs and funding all the stuff that they should not be funding, and you let people do it on your own, and you free them up and not put all these regulations and all of these red tape in their way for them to do it, you'll be surprised how fast a group of people would thrive. And that is the thing we need in the black community, is that we need to be able to thrive without the power of the government holding our thumb over saying, you need us and we don't. And I got nothing but respect for you. Dare to search. I got nothing but respect for you. I appreciate you coming in, and I hope we get to see more of you. I hope we get to see more of you. And that's real talk. And I appreciate you taking your time out to even have this conversation, because I know sometimes that might not be easy. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm right, I'm wrong. That's why I tell people, please, like, stop listening to try not to listen to these politicians, and just go in and find out for yourself, and then you'll find how that plays out down the road. Because that's what I had to do. I had to pull, like, I grew up and I voted Democrat all the time. And I'm not saying all Democrats are bad, but I go in on them like they're all bad. But I'm not saying that they all. I just go in on them like that. But I grew up, city of Philadelphia, poor as heck, under the Democratic leadership, and I have yet to find anything worth doing. I appreciate your time. I really do. Just know you family. Even if we disagree, we family. And this is what it takes for us to become a better as a community. It's really what it does. Oh, man. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Right there. Yep. Exactly. But I still treat you, and I treat Out the Pit like family. Why? Because you don't have to agree with me, and it's okay if you don't. I mean, look at what's his name, Out the Pit, Donald. Donald is like the extreme, but we still treat him like family, and we let him say what he want to say, and I let him give his space. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? I'm being honest with you, dare to search. The Democrats that me and you probably grew up knowing, that's not them no more. I'm dead serious. And this is where I think where a lot of us are missing in that, is that we think about the Martin Luther King days and, that time period. These are not them no more. They're nothing like them. Nothing. Yeah, and I think that's what's happening is that, and I used to say the same thing when I talked to my mother, and she would and I had to explain to her. I was like, Mom, you don't understand. And I think that's probably why Trump even left the Democratic Party and ran as a Republican, because he probably saw too much himself, and he's closer to it than we probably were, because he donated to Jesse Jackson's campaign, donated $1 million to Jesse Jackson's campaign. He was all with the Democrats, and for some reason he left. And now I see why. What's going on, Jay? How you doing? God bless you, brother. Welcome in. Please hit that like button. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Yeah, man. It just, you know, and you know, and I think Jay, like we all, like for me, that's, you know, I look at it like that, and I'm like, you know, and that's all. When me and my mom had conversations, and we we talked, you know, we talked, and my mom, and I remember the last time I stopped by the house, and I was surprised she even said this. I was surprised she even said this, and I guess she was watching something, and she turned around and she was like, she said, "I'm glad Trump is in office," and I was surprised because my mom, and she was a hardcore Democrat too. But it wasn't until she started seeing the, I guess she somewhere along the line, because I don't really talk to my mom about politics. I just let her, I let her kind of think. My mom's up there in age. I'm not going to go in there and just go into the politics. Sometimes she'll ask me questions, but I really don't talk too much about it because I'm like, I'm not going to get into that with her. But she did, you know, when she found out about that, that, you know, the transgender stuff and sex changing and stuff like that, and he said women are women and men are men. And my mom was like, she said, I agree with him 100%. I didn't even know that was going on. I was like, it's like you don't know, Mom, but it's all good. I mean, but yes, please. Yeah, you're right. They are. But I'm going to tell you something. It's one thing for us to sit there and we can talk about the problem. We know most of us, Jay, top to bottom, all of us know the problem. We see it. 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 And this is the reason why I get on this live once in a while and I talk investment. Now, this is the solution to the problem for us. Is that it's one thing for me to talk about the issues and who I do agree or disagree with. But like with somebody like Jay, right, who talks about real estate and talks about investing and stuff like that. Somebody like me who talks about real estate, talk about investing, right? No, I didn't hear that, Mark. Help out with what? No, y'all help out. Y'all do it. Call all your political buddies and let them clean up the mess. Y'all let it go. Y'all should be cleaning up. If y'all didn't protect the citizens of that city and that state from this bull crap that's happening, y'all should not ask them to clean up. You know who should be out there? Gavin Newsom and Karen. She should be out there cleaning up, and they shouldn't ask nobody else. You call Washington, all of the Democratic Party, all of them should go down there and clean up. That's who should be out there cleaning up. Just the politicians. All of the politicians that's okay with that behavior, they the ones should be out there cleaning it up. Nobody else. Nobody else should be participating in the cleanup. All the ones that are okay with that mess, that keep on talking about it, take your behind over there and clean up the mess. Simple as that. No, nobody should be funding anything. Y'all thought it was okay to tear it up. Y'all encouraged them to do it. Now clean it up. It's like me, like if I invite people to my house, right? If I invite people to my house and the house get messy, right? Now you might have a few people that might stay around and help clean up and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I gotta help. I gotta do it. Now y'all invited these illegals in y'all stadium. Y'all invited these illegal in your state. Y'all wanted to fight for them. Y'all stood on there and said, we want to protect the illegals. We love all this other stuff. Then don't ask nobody else to do anything. Don't ask for no money. Y'all clean them up. Call all your cronies who's okay with that behavior and clean it up. That's where I'm at with it. Exactly. Y'all was encouraging it. Now y'all want help. Get out of here. Anybody trying to hear that? I didn't even see that. But it's just me hearing you say that. If that's what she said, you go clean it up. And anybody that support that. Right. I'm not saying all Democrats. What I'm saying is the Democratic politicians, a lot of them was out there. They was out there saying this. They want this kind of. So then the ones they should be out there cleaning up. I ain't letting nobody. No, I'm not. No, don't take no tax dollars and do it. Don't take none of that stuff because the tax dollars come from the working class citizens. The people that work ain't out there tearing that up. They got to go to work. They're not doing that. So the people that saying that, let them clean it up. Man, these people they out of pocket. You know, Jaden. Yeah, I don't want nobody using no tax. Don't use none of that stuff. Take your take your behind over there. Matter of fact, why y'all need tax dollars? Y'all done stole money. If you, Nancy Pelosi, and all of y'all rich Democrats up there in Martha's Vineyard, because y'all keep encouraging all this other stuff, take your money and y'all pay. Listen, all y'all got to do is to pay all y'all legals y'all brought over there. Pay them to go do it. Leave the citizens and the taxpayers to the citizen money alone. We ain't trying to hear that. Keep my dollars out of it. No. Didn't Gavin Newsom get up there and say he didn't want the National Guard there, right? He said that. Now he could have got the National Guard to put a stop to that long before it got out of hand. But the bigger thing he could have did was let ICE in there, get these illegal immigrants, round them all up, and get them out of there and did it as quiet as possible, and you wouldn't have had this problem. But no, you wanted to support the illegal immigrants, and you gave the middle finger to your citizens. But criminals matter more to y'all. So, if you want to embrace the criminals and illegal immigrants, criminals came over here, you cross the border illegally, you're a criminal. If you want to embrace that, then you go over there and since you the one let that happen, you go clean that up. What did he call him? Oh, I think he's talking about the Democratic politicians, not the voters. Yeah, that's true. They still haven't. The Trump administration. I forget. Tom Homan found quite a few of them so far. Those kids, but yeah, they're not. If they really cared about people like that, they would have never lost all those kids, and they still haven't found a lot of them. But I can say this much: Tom Homan. I think they said they found about 30,000 so far. Last time I looked. But my thing is that when we talk about Democrats, we talk about politicians, not the voters. This conversation is really about the politicians, not so much about the voters. Some people that are Democratic voters, they do vote ignorantly, but most of what we're saying is about the politicians because they're the ones getting rich off of politics. They're not getting rich off of providing something. Yeah, he do. They're not getting rich off of providing something. They're getting rich off of the taxpayers' dollars, and they should not be there. Oh, that's what's up, Jay. Wow. Yeah, okay. I wasn't too sure the number. Last time I remember, Daisy, it was 30,000, but I didn't know it was up to 80,000 now. And that's just boys. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. 80,000. So that means that the Trump administration actually knew what they were talking about. Because if you had 80,000 already, ain't no telling what you're gonna find the rest of them. Yeah, they was. And that's why they charged that dude that the Democratic Party was so adamant about trying to save. That's why they charged him with child trafficking, because that's what he was into. That's what he was into. Child trafficking. That MS-13 gang member that they kept saying wasn't an MS-13 gang member. And they kept telling people over and over that wasn't what he was. And they called him the Maryland man or some stuff like that and tried to paint this dude like he was most honorable citizens and the other. And my thing is this: if you're willing to lie to your citizens about somebody like that, how far will you go? Yeah, they do, because they want slave labor, cheap labor. But that's what the Democrats have always thought about years ago. But people don't. I know. A lot of times, black people don't realize that the Democratic Party is the ones that wanted to keep the slavery going back then. They was not trying to get rid of slavery. They wanted it to continue on back then. And it was the Republican Party that signed all the legislation to get rid of that slavery. It was the Republican Party that supported all of that stuff. The civil rights movement and everything was the Republican Party. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, not Democrat. But see what the Democrats did, the Democratic politicians, what they did was they changed the playbook. They said, you know what, let's just give them handouts and we'll get them voting forever. Yes, the Democratic Party is the party of the KKK because they established it. And they haven't changed it. They haven't changed. It's just that they did it. They got more slick on how they do it. See, before they just was outright KKK. Now what they did was they get some black faces for you to trust them, right? And then they'll say, we'll let them, those black faces will look like they're doing all right. Because what they want is, they want the cheap labor, the vast majority of it, and they want you to never become a competitor. The biggest thing is they want you to be a consumer and not a competitor. Because the Democrats make money off of people that are consumers. They don't want competitors. So my point to the slavery part is this. The point to the slavery part is this. Is if you look at the lifestyle of the people that are usually under the Democratic Party, like Democratic Party cities like Philadelphia, Maryland, Chicago, Chicago, and all of the places that Democrats run. I want y'all to look at this. If I wanted to enslave a people, this is real talk. Now, slavery is no longer legal. So they had to find a smarter way to get it, right? So if I wanted to make sure you never compete with me, meaning we'll get all the wealth and you'll get the crumbs, the first thing I have to do is I got to give you one of the worst educational systems you can find. Meaning I got to take all of the trades out of your school. Meaning I'm not going to teach you how to make nothing, build something, fix anything of that nature. I'm going to take all of that out of your schools. So if you look at all of the schools in the inner cities, you don't have none of these trades in them no more, right? First thing. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to break the family up. Why? Because the men are the strength of the family. The dominance, the strength, the masculinity from the family. So I'm going to try to break that up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I got to keep your numbers down. This is the second thing they got to do. Keep your numbers down. Meaning I'm going to encourage you to keep offing your baby. Why? To keep your numbers down. Because the more we keep you down, to numbers down, the more we can control y'all. That's why 40% of abortions in America come through the black community. That's why our numbers haven't been growing. That's why we still only 13% of the population, when right now we probably should be more around 35, 40%. But this is all the Democratic Party. That's why you've seen an abortion clinic outside the Democratic convention. Why? Because they want to encourage black people to keep killing your baby. They ain't offering you nothing but a way to offer your baby. They're offering you welfare, handouts, anything to keep you unmotivated to do it on your own. This is their play. This has never been a different play with the Democrats. It's the same play with the KKK. The only difference with the KKK now is they can't go out there and lynch you. So what they did, they got smart. They found a way to get you to self-lynch, meaning they make sure you're desperate. That means you're going to commit crime. It's almost guaranteed you're going to commit crime. So they make sure you're financially desperate. That's what the Democrats do. They give you handouts so you be unmotivated, so you be financially desperate, and then you're going to end up killing each other trying to make it in this world. Now y'all robbing and stealing from each other. What that's going to do? Off more black people, keeping the numbers down. Next thing you do, Get them to do, you encourage them to abort their baby because you're going to tell them they got health issues. You might die. All of this stuff they're going to keep telling you. Why? To keep the black numbers down. And then you keep them financially desperate. And then what you do, you encourage them to go to school for stuff that's useless. This is the biggest one that recently. Go to school, go to college, get in debt for useless careers. Careers that nobody needs. Why? To keep you financially bankrupt, paying all of these loans, and you'll never get ahead. And we've been falling for the same trap over and over and over. They don't teach you about investing. You got to go find that out. They don't teach you how to make nothing. You got to go find that out. And they're going to make it so it's so far away from you that it's just almost impossible to find out. I remember as a kid, I used to see black people make porch furniture and sell it. Lawn furniture and sell it. Flower pots and sell it. I don't see this type of stuff no more. We're not making anything, growing it, just about anything. I'm not saying all black people, but this is where we're missing it at. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get back to the chat. Real talk. Hold on. Yes. And here's the thing, man. We are all in this together. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. And everybody in this country, ancestors, had a hand in building this country. And I'm never going to let nobody tell me. I'm not going to let nobody tell me that this is not my country. So here's what you got to understand. I remember having a conversation with my brother, and he said to me, he was like, well, why are they giving laws and making laws for other races and not making laws for black race? I said, you sound stupid to me. You're American citizen. They don't need to make a law for you. Every law that's on that book is for you. And when you stop, if you let them make you think that you're a second-class citizen, they're going to keep treating you like you are a second-class citizen. This is my country. I was born and raised here. I don't care who says it. This is my country. So you're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do, and you're not going to give somebody else rights, that more rights than you gave me. This is my country. I was born and raised here. That's why when people ask me, oh, you believe in white supremacy? No, because there is no white person that's more supreme than me. I understand what they're trying to say, but I'm not going to give you that space. We're all in this together. This is our country. So none of us should be okay with letting illegals come over here and benefit from what our ancestors fought for. Whether you white, black, whatever race you come from. This is your country. Just like you will not let nobody just walk in your house and eat your food, you got to treat your country the same way. Just like you wouldn't let nobody just come and take your stuff and walk off with it like it's just theirs, and you put in all the work to maintain it and get it, you got to treat your country the same way. Because at the first, they're going to come across the border. At the while, they're going to be at your door. That's why you've seen these people squatting in people's houses that they did not own. That's why you got to stop it at the border so the citizens of America never have to worry about that. We got enough criminals at home. We don't need nobody else's. We got enough problems right here in America. We don't need nobody else's problems. So as a leader of the United States of America, no matter who the leader is, president-wise, the first and foremost, number one job of yours is to protect the American citizens from foreign entities. You should have never let nobody come across that border without the permission. The necessary and vetting them, checking them, making sure what their intentions are as much as you possibly can, and then they possibly can come in. And that is the very point that I'm trying to make. No one will respect your country and respect America if they don't respect it enough to want to pay and come here the right way. This is why you see what you see in California. This is your country. Whether you black born in America, white born in America, migrated over here legally, like her family did, Daisy family did, the right way. And my thing is this, for somebody who came over here and did it the right way, that's a slap in their face to let somebody just walk across the border and get the same benefits. This is what the Democratic Party is preaching to everybody, because most Republicans are not for it. This is why Trump won the election on that. He won the election based on that border, because no American citizen, regardless you Democrat or Republican, would be okay with that if it was at your front door and they just walked in your house like that. That's why you're supposed to stop it at the border, not at your house. Because if they keep coming across that border, eventually they're going to be in your neighborhood, in their community. Now, here's the thing. Martha's Vineyard is predominantly Democratic politicians over there. When they ship them over there, they pack them right back up on them buses and put them back and put them into every neighborhood in all of the sanctuary city neighborhoods. They didn't want that for them. Well, why is it okay for them to do it to you? And why are we as citizens okay with that? They dumped them in Black and Hispanic communities. They didn't leave them there. The Obamas, the Michelle Obamas, and all of these Clintons and all of them, they didn't leave them in Martha's Vineyard. They packed them up and sent them to y'all who voted for y'all, for them at some point. So it's okay for y'all to deal with them, but it's not okay for them to deal with them. Why do these politicians think they're better than you? Meanwhile, they're the ones who work for you. And we need to remind them at all times. They work for us. But these people think they're rulers and kings. And they doing it to the very people that vote for them. There's no way if I was the president of the United States and I saw that happening, first of all, I'm going to stop it at the border. But if they pack them up and sent them to, pack them back up and put them on a plane, send them back, then they're not coming to our communities. No. I would have never let that happen to my people. As if I am the president of the United States, I would have never let that happen to my people. I would have put a stop to it right at the border. I would have never let that happen. If you say you love your citizens of America, you would have never put your citizens of America in harm's way like that. That is treason. Because what if those people would have came across with bombs and guns? That's treason. And I give you one better. Let's just say, okay, Jay, God forbid, but I'm going to use you and your wife as an example. You and your wife in your house. Someone comes in your front door. You and your wife just sit. Let's say y'all sitting there right there, not by the door, and they come in your front door, right? Your wife, knowing that you are the what? The man, the leader of the house. She's going to expect you to do your job as a man and put a stop to that. Now, if you as a man don't put a stop to that, she is no longer going to feel safe as a woman. Because you as a man failed to do your one duty. Well, you probably got more, but I'm just saying that one duty, that's, in my opinion, if you're a husband and wife, and I might be wrong, your one duty as a man that's exclusively to you is the protection of your home. Now, some other people might have a different opinion about that, but that's just my opinion. As a man, and my thing is, Jay, I know you like that because I seen it. I already seen it. And I've never seen it. Me and you never met personally, but when we was watching you live, I seen exactly how you reacted. And I said, he did exactly what he's supposed to do as a man. Why? So why would anybody be okay with that across your country? See, no one cares about it until they hit the door. And all the ones that say they want that, why are they not living with you? Take them to your home. You feed them. Don't use taxpayers' money to do it. You feed them. If you're okay with illegal immigration and you love it so much, why none of these politicians have them in their home, in their house, and taking care of them with their paychecks? If they that okay with it. None of them have them in their house. And here's the crazy part. The two judges, they got caught with them. What did they have them doing? Working for next to nothing. That's my point. See, what they say out of their mouth, that's the bad part is for you. The good part is for them. The reason why they want illegals, because they want the cheap labor. Because they're cronies, they're real cronies. They want them to be able to go do these jobs for next to nothing, undercut American citizens. So when you go apply for that job, and you may want $20 an hour, but they're going to get that legal immigrant to do it for $12 an hour, and they're going to make a ton of profit off of it. So if Trump was looking out for billionaires, he would be okay with illegal immigration. Because billionaires will benefit from this more if Trump was okay with this. Because if I'm a billionaire and I want cheap labor, all I got to do is bring the illegals over here and treat them like slaves and let them work for nothing. So if he was for that, he would have let the illegal immigration continue on. And as a smart businessman he is, he would have said, you know what? I'm going to capitalize on it too. They can come work for me too. Technically, Jay, it still is. It still is. They haven't changed. Just nobody applying it. And you shouldn't. And if they change it and I didn't know, we need to put it back. Because if you out there waving a flag and that's where you pledge your allegiance to that country, then why are you not there? If I'm waving a flag to a country and I think that country is so great, then why I'm not there? Why am I in America doing it? If my allegiance is to that country, why am I in America waving a flag? Because only in America can you get away with representing another country and nothing to happen to you. And honestly speaking, shouldn't be that way. But if your allegiance is to that country, that's where you should be. And Trump made a way for you to go. And they think, listen, you waving the flag, Trump gave them a way of passage for you to get back to your country, and you still over here trying to wave the flag. You could have just put the flag down, jumped on the app, let them know where you at, and they'd have paid you for to go back where you was. That's why you know they full of crap. Well, yeah, Jay, I agree with you, bro. I agree. I don't like it, man. There you go. I think they should be right. So you so quick and you want if you're pledging your allegiance to that country, you got a way to get there. He made a way, but yet you still hear protesting. But yet you hear protesting, but you ain't ran your behind back to your country. Make it make sense. Make that make sense. My allegiance supposed to be to who? My country. So if I'm waving another, listen, what's behind me? What's behind me? What do y'all see behind me? You're right. They not. And my thing is this. The reason why that flag is behind me, because this is my country. And that's where my allegiance is to. First and foremost, my commitment is to God. And that. But outside of that, then it comes to my family, country, and stuff like that. But my point is, imagine me up there talking what I'm talking. I got another country flag behind me. No, it's not. But listen, they seen an opportunity to start stealing, and that's what they're doing. No, it's not. But they seen an opportunity to steal. Civil unrest, all buck wild crazy, and now they out there stealing. Now they out there stealing. But again, if it mattered that much, if that country meant that much to you, why are you not in a rush to get there? There is a way. Yes, he is. He's 100% right. They ain't going to let that go down over there. You already know. But my thing is this. In America, in most countries and places in America ain't going to let that go down too. So you can get away with that in California. You know why you can get away with that in California? Because the vast majority of citizens in California don't have guns. They don't have none. If all them store owners and business owners had guns and licked your behind up when you tried to come in, bet you would have stopped real quick then. If them store owners instead had a broomstick trying to stop them, and they'll turn around, and the crazy part is these politicians turn around and say, oh, it's not worth killing somebody over. But the people that's stealing, it's worth it to them to go steal it. So if it's worth it to them to go steal it, they're willing to put the rest of their life on the line to get it, then it's not worth it to me to stop them. Make that make sense. Yeah. But like I said, you go into a place, you go into any place in the country of America where the citizens have a lot of guns, and I guarantee you that will not happen. They might get away with it in Houston, Texas, maybe. But they ain't going to get away with that in Texas. If that was to go down in the state of Texas, outside of maybe Houston, you won't need the National Guard. You're going to need a massive amount of coroners to come picking up them bodies. You will have to go around and pick up bodies. Because nobody's going to want that smoke in Texas. Hell, I can even say Florida to some extent. They're not going to want that smoke. So maybe certain parts of Florida. But it's only going to happen where their gun laws are a lot more complicated. Because the politicians want the citizens to be at the mercy of the criminals. Because the criminals are going to get their guns and they're not going to care. And I see video after video, especially in California, of people getting robbed and everything else, and they don't have no weapon to protect themselves. But the Democrats want you to not to embrace the Second Amendment. Why? Because they want to tell you not to have a gun and not to have the best weapon to protect yourself, so you'll be at the mercy of this type of stuff. Sorry about that. But give me a second. If they follow rules, you wouldn't have them. You wouldn't even need the rules if you had criminals that followed them. Yeah, I saw that, Jay. Yeah, I saw that. Like I said, they okay with it's okay, but it's not going to happen. And my point is, like, let's take Florida, right? It's one of those gun states that are they embrace the Second Amendment, and even Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia, embraces it more than anything. So, what do you think is going to happen? That's why we don't have that problem outside of most places in Pennsylvania. You only had that in Philly. Yeah, I saw that, Jay. You're right. They haven't. But my thing is this, is that if you listen to the Democratic Party, they all have the same talking points. It's like they programmed to say the same thing. If you look at what they say, they never talk anything different. They all talk the same way. Every last one of them said this was peaceful protesting. How? Where's the peaceful way? They want us once again to not believe what our eyes are seeing. Just like they said Joe Biden's health was perfect. We watching him slur his words, can't talk half his stuff, don't remember this. He getting stories all mixed up all the way across the board, stumbling and falling all over the place, everywhere you go. All types of stuff we're watching happening with Joe Biden, but they keep saying he was healthy and strong. These are the very same people. They lie so much. This is why I say they work for Satan. Because the Bible says that Satan is the father of lies. And they lie so much, they don't even know how to tell the truth. Even when it's in their face, they still lie. To try to make us believe that we don't believe, to not believe what we see. Make that make sense. They of their father the devil. Because they can't even tell the truth. They don't know how. You mean to tell me that all that stuff we're watching on TV is fake? It's not happening. They're not throwing right. Like, I was watching them break up the concrete and those concrete pillars and the concrete, taking sledgehammers, breaking up the rocks so they can throw. So you're tearing up the sidewalks, tearing up all of these posts, breaking up bricks and stuff so you can throw them at the police. Isn't it the same state that wanted to defund the police? Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up. I'll try not to laugh at that, but good point. He's not. He wasn't. And that's my whole point. That's why I can't trust nothing these people say. I can't. Even if you wanted to try to embrace something that the Democrats say, you can't. And listen, John Fetterman about to catch hell from them because he actually told the truth. John Fetterman is going to catch hell from the Democrats. Because if y'all go look at what John Fetterman said, if y'all go look at what John Fetterman said, he's probably one of the only few Democrats that talk with some sense. Democratic politicians that talk with half a sense. Because when I tell you, he about to catch hell. Because he was talking totally different than what they said. And he about to catch hell. The Dems are not going to like him. And be honest with you, he probably the only Democrat that I probably would vote for. At this point, is John Fetterman. And he's in Pennsylvania because he do talk with some sense, even though he went through a stroke. He was in the hospital, the whole medical situation going on, but still talk with more sense than almost every Democrat I see right now, politician-wise. But this is what they want us to believe. Make that make sense. Y'all know, like I know, there's a lot of them you just can't trust. It's sad, but you just can't trust them. You wish you had a better pick of the litter on the Democratic side, because I don't want it to be this lopsided. Honestly, I don't want the political spectrum to be this lopsided, meaning that the vast majority of the quality people you got, they're all now Republicans. Mostly Republicans. Democrats don't have nothing that I would vote for besides maybe John Fetterman. Outside of him, nobody. The only person, I mean, on the Republican side, I like Wesley, I like Byron Donalds, what's your name, who's Florida, Ron DeSantis. I wasn't gonna pick a lot of these people over Trump, but because I wanted Trump to go back and do what he was doing. But I would it's none of them. No, he wasn't. And it's sad. That's why I said there's nothing on the Democrat. AOC and Jasmine Crow, I don't know where we're at, both of them idiots. But like I said, the Republicans right now have they got a strong bench. I'm not even talking about, you can take Trump out of the equation between J.D. Vance, Byron Donalds, Ron DeSantis, Wesley, and there's a lot of other ones that I'm not even remembering names. The Democrats had nobody. If the Democrats was party, the only person they would be able to embrace it, even get any type of good leadership, is John Fetterman. Wow. I didn't know that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But it's all good. So it's all right, Jay. I get it. I can read between the lines for the most part. Yeah. And you know it's funny, it's more hilarious to hear Out the Pit say that because he's not he's not a voter. Like he's a citizen, but he don't really vote. And for somebody who really don't vote, saying that, it just makes it more hilarious. You get what I'm saying? Like, that makes it even more, even him who probably don't embrace this stuff to this level, looking at this like, he even see it. But I always tell people, I said, you have to pay attention to a certain level. I mean, you don't have to get the, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm real extreme because I'll cut it off in a minute. But you have to pay attention to a certain level because you need to know. I pay attention to a lot of the politics because I need to, yeah, Jay, to be honest with you, I wasn't this far. And I, at some point, because I realized the rabbit hole didn't have a bottom that I could find, it just kept going and going. I just had to stop. Like, okay, I seen enough. That's where I got to. I got to the point where I seen enough. I'm good. I get it. And I was like, okay, I'm done. And then sometimes I do go visit the rabbit hole, but it's too much. It's just way too much. But it just makes it funny when you listen. You hear this and you see what's going on. It's not funny, but it's just with somebody like Out the Pit who really doesn't dive into the political arena like we do, like I do, to say the stuff that he's saying tells you how bad it man, that was hilarious. When they shut the door on her. I ain't shut the door on her like she wasn't allowed to cross the border. Yo, that ICE agent shut the door on her like that door was the border. Like, no, you ain't coming in there. You ain't coming in this house. Yeah, you know, like honestly, I mean, she's older in age, but I'll be honest with you, she should have been thrown in jail for that Black Lives Matter stuff because she was the one actually causing the insurrection. When I remember when Black Lives Matter was doing all that stuff, she was out there, tear it up, tear it up, tear it up. She was saying it out of her mouth. And she didn't go to jail for that. Yes, you right. You know what? But you're probably right. Because, well, you're more likely right. Because what happened was, what people don't realize about it is that when it comes to voting wise, if the Republican get roughly about 5% of the black vote, that's all they really need is about 5%, it's over for the Democrats. That's the reason why the Democrats are bringing all these illegals over here and trying to make them into voters and funding and purchasing their vote. Make them into voters and try to purchase their vote because they saw that they were losing a lot of voters because a lot of black people were starting to switch to Republican and they were just switching. And it was happening on a large scale. And they were trying to combat it by bringing in illegals, part of it, to make new voters. So you're right. They're not going to pander to us no more because they can't win with us. They need something else. But here, by the time they get their act together, there's going to be a lot more black people that's not going to vote for them no more because they keep picking the wrong fight. They keep picking the wrong fight. They haven't gotten the point yet. We are American citizens. We don't want this for our country. And they keep picking the wrong fight. And as long as they keep picking the wrong fight, they're going to keep picking the loss. They thought that movement was bigger than what it was. They tried to make it big, but it wasn't. and they're gonna keep losing. And they're gonna keep losing. As long as they keep picking that fight, they're gonna keep losing that fight. And I'm good with it. I don't, like I said, it's what they don't realize is what they're trying to enforce on people. That's communism. The way that they're trying to do it is not a free country. To tell people what they can and cannot have, put all these regulations on people that they don't need to be have, funding all of these programs that we don't need to fund, is taking away everybody's livelihood and giving it to people that don't deserve it. Oh, yeah, I agree, Jay. I agree. We don't need them all. We just need enough. We ain't going to get them all. We're not. But I can tell you right now that there was a whole lot of black people that abandoned the Democratic Party. And they're done. Like I personally have probably flipped about 1,000 people. From Democrat to Republican. Personally. And it's not even about Republican. And Jay, you should go look at Chicago. What is it? I think it's Chicago Red. Over there in Chicago, they got a Flip Chicago Red movement going on. And I forget the girl's name, but they making strides over there in Chicago big time. And she has a YouTube channel. And she stay on it. Dana, I think her name is. And they've been over there fighting to Flip Chicago Red. And they've been going at Brandon Johnson over there. And this is what we need. And it's not so much about being Republican. It's what the Republicans stand for as it relates to the Trump administration and what we want as American citizens, what is right by every citizen as much as possible. And stop ignoring the working class citizens across America. Because that's really why Trump won, is because he appealed to the working class. What decisions that he's making right now in office affects, by and large, the working class citizens. That's it. They can try to spin it like it's beneficial to the billionaires, but it's not. If you look at the Trump policies and the stuff that they're trying to get passed in Congress and the Senate, that is by and large beneficial to the working class citizen. But they're never going to tell you that on these news channels. They're not. Yeah, and my thing is this, is that there's a lot of black and Hispanic people, and the Hispanic people woke up, I'm going to say before black, because they voted for Trump by and large. And I think a lot of them voted for Trump because they're like, wait a minute, I paid to get over here. And I'm not saying all of them, because a lot of them been here a while. But for the ones that paid to come over here and had to pay to get their families over here and all that other stuff, and y'all just going to let them walk over here? You mean to tell me I could have did that? I could have just walked over here and saved all that money? Oh, okay. You ain't getting my vote. Because people with a sensible mind know that someone shouldn't just walk into your house without permission. Somebody knock on your door, and you look and go answer your door, and you don't recognize the person, you're not going to just let them in your house. Yeah, they do, because they funded them. But even that's dying. You're absolutely right, top to bottom. They do. They are but see, what happens is that a lot of that is even dying. And I'm gonna tell you, this is just my opinion. I don't say that I'm right. But this is where my opinion on that is. Yeah, I saw that too. But but here's the thing. The reason why I say they're losing that is because when you look at the ratings of these networks, a lot of people are not watching TV like that. They're not watching these news channels like that. And they lost their they lost a lot of that narrative that they had. Most of us are now getting our information, and most of us are getting our information and stuff like that is basically through social media. Most of us, YouTube pages and stuff like that, political stuff. And what the Trump administration did, which was very, very smart, I might add, is that they opened up that avenue for everybody. For YouTube people who on YouTube, you can actually go down there in the press room And if you got a YouTube channel, a social media channel, and all that other stuff, they open it up for everybody, those type of people. So that in large gave you a more fair perspective of what's going on in the White House. The White House right now is so transparent, it's crazy. Yeah, they don't have that stronghold that they used to have. And I agree with you talked about it to some extent. I mean, they still have an impact, but I think their impact is more so for older end of generation. My thing is their impact is probably for people that are more like 60 and above. Yep, I agree, Jay. Hopefully, prayerfully, yeah, that's it. Honestly speaking. But you know what, man? We all gonna grow, man. We're growing slowly, but we're growing. We're growing slowly, but we're growing. But we just gotta stick to it, man. And my thing is this: we also have to be careful to not go so far right to the right, where we become extreme. Like right now, I gotta protect my vote. Yeah, I rarely watch TV. I ain't gonna lie to you. I rarely watch TV. I mean, sometimes I figure out why do I have a TV in the house at this point? 'Cause I'm usually like, I'm usually and in my yeah, you may be right out the pit. He said I think immigration is going to be the new COVID. Probably, but here's the thing: for those that are of the gun community, so I mean, make sure y'all good, man. Y'all see what's going on over there. Just make sure y'all good. That's all I can say. Make sure y'all good. Like y'all see what's going on in California, and we don't know where that poison, how far that poison going to travel. Because if they're inciting it there and they're already trying to incite it in other cities, we don't know how far it's going to travel. So my thing is that make sure y'all good. Make sure make sure you're good. That's it. Make sure you're good. I mean, and as crazy as it may sound, like in my circle, we have a low key contingency plan. If all goes bad, we have a low key contingency plan. And I don't say go extreme, but just make sure you got reasonably enough and you good enough that worst come to worst, you good. You can protect your home. You can protect your livelihood as much as possible. So it's like and prepare yourself, train. Like, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know we see what's happening, and and as much as we talk, we laugh, we joke, but you gotta yeah, you gotta have a contingency plan. And before I get off this live, I definitely want to talk about this. Is that make sure you have a contingency plan, because you just don't know. You just don't know, and you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So Now, like I was telling y'all before out the pit when you asked the question about the other video, what I was going to do, and I ended up at the gun show. And what shocked me the most at the gun show this time is that how many. Usually, I go to gun shows quite often. Not every single time, I go quite often. But what shocked me at this time when I went to the gun show is the ratio of black people that were there. That I've never seen that many black people at the gun show. and I've never seen that many people at a gun show, black people at a gun show. Now don't get me wrong, it was a lot of white people, a lot of black people. It was some Hispanics and it was mixed everywhere. But I seen so many. I honestly at that gun show, it probably was more black people at that gun show than any race, and I've never seen nowhere near that. I was impressed. And I wasn't even looking at it. I was on the phone and somebody asked me. And then I actually started paying attention. And I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. Most of us in here are black. And there was a lot of people there. It was a lot. I mean, it was packed. Like we was elbow to elbow. Excuse me. That's how packed it was inside. And I don't like crowds. So that made me a little uncomfortable. But I was impressed. I really was. So in my opinion is that the message is getting out there. It's getting out there. Slowly but surely is having its effect on the younger generation because it was the younger generation. I didn't see old people there. I seen younger. I seen the younger generation there. And I was watching. I opened my eyes and I'm watching just to see what they were looking at, what they were shopping for. And it started, and I was impressed and I was happy to see it because I feel like as a black community and a Hispanic community and every community, we need to take full advantage of the right to keep and bear arms, and we need to be good because you don't know. And it's nothing against any other races. This is not what I'm saying it for. This is your country. You don't want, you see what they let in here. You see all of the mess they let in here. This is your country. And you read all of the stories about the people squatting in people's houses, tearing up stuff, stealing stuff, all of the stuff that's going on. And you're not ready for that? I'm not sure, Jay. I'm not exactly sure. But when I say I'm not exactly sure, Jay, I really don't know. But when I was at the gun show, and like I said, I go all the time, and I go to the same one all the time. I was impressed, and I was happy with the fact that we were embracing our rights to keep and bear arms. That was the point. The point that I was making. I was impressed, and if it was 3,000 people there, maybe more than that, I don't know. It was a lot of people there. Half of them were of either black, Hispanic persuasion, mostly black and white. And my thing is, this is not saying it is a racial issue. It's just, I think we have to embrace this type of stuff. And there were a lot of younger ones. Like, it wasn't like it was a bunch of old people. It was a bunch of, she said it was near Tulsa. Okay, it was a bunch of older people. I mean, younger people, not older people. Which tell me that they're listening and they're paying attention. Because if they listen to the Democrat and the liberals, they wouldn't be in there. They wouldn't. Because the Democrats will make you think you're not supposed to have a gun. And the same thing with the liberals. The only people going to make you think that way is if you listen to people like my channel and people that are mostly Republicans, my channel, and stuff like that. That's what we talk about. Because that's what we talk about. So they listen. And that's why I keep telling people it's not about protecting yourself against people. The right to keep and bear arms is protect yourself against government. So you're not supposed to let the government tell you what you can and cannot have. They don't have the right to. Technically, if you read the Constitution in the right way, the government don't have the right to tell you what you can and keep bear arms. And they don't have the right to write these laws that they keep writing. And that's why the Supreme Court is supposed to shut all that stuff down because they're wrong. They should have been stopped at all. And this is why the Trump administration is going in now and saying, look, y'all need to look at all this stuff because they're infringing on people's right to keep and bear arms. The government shouldn't have any say so whatsoever about that, because it's to protect ourselves against them, not just people. That's a byproduct of it. Is to protect yourself against government, not just people. If the government decide to go tyrannical and all you can have is a 5-shooter, how you gonna protect yourself against the stuff that they have? So they're not supposed to tell you what you can and cannot have in America. And that's why you don't let them tell you. But that's what I'm saying, like, make sure y'all good, man. Like, regardless of what we talk about, make sure y'all good. Believe me. You know what I mean? But I ain't buy nothing though. I was tempted. Woo, was I tempted? Well, I did buy some ammo. But yeah, I bought some ammo, but I ain't buying no gun. But there was a couple of things I was looking at. And I was like, no, don't do it. No, you can't do it. It was, I was like, man, I should have just went fishing. But it was about to rain. That's why I didn't go fishing. But I didn't. And the ammo I buy is expensive, but it was reasonably priced. So I went, I'm going to get me a couple of boxes. But make sure y'all good, man. Make sure y'all good. Yeah, it was like $42 for 20 rounds. Yeah, no catfish, Jay. No catfish. Nope. See, what my plan was to go get the gun, get the ammunition, and shoot the catfish while they're in the water. So I was going to fish with bullets and shoot the catfish. And once I shoot the catfish and they float to the top, I can scoop them up. But yeah, man, I want some yeah, but I gotta get yeah, I was mad. I was on my way. I had went there and then I went and got you know what, Jay? I have a semi-automatic shotgun, 12 gauge, but I want the clip-fed one. But I'm reluctant to buy it because I heard stories about how unreliable they are. So I keep asking a whole bunch of questions. This is what stopped me. Now the one guy said, "Oh no, I had mine and I've shot almost maybe 3,000 rounds through it and it's been fine." But you selling the guns, so I can't really go by that because you the one trying to sell me a gun. So I'm still doing my research with it, but I want a semi-automatic 12 gauge, but I want a clip-fed one. I mean, I have a semi-automatic. My mine don't take a clip. I got, it's a tube, whatever. It holds 5 rounds, 4 plus 1. And then, it is what it is. But I want me in one. It kind of has an AR style, but it takes the clip and it looks like the ARs or whatever. But when I get one, y'all gonna know because I'm gonna show it to you. Yeah, I'm reluctant, but I seen a couple of videos that where they were shooting a lot of shooting. So I've been on this. I want one for probably about a year now, Jay. Oh, okay. So that was my concern, is that the jamming stuff. So I don't know if they got that kink out. The guy was like, oh yeah, I do that anyway, Jay. Even with my stuff, when I when I go through, I clean my stuff, not all a bunch of time. But one thing I do is I take my stuff apart, clean everything up, and I oil everything down. Especially if I know I'm going to the ranges, I don't want no problem. I want everything to work. I don't want no jams. I never get jammed because I keep my stuff right. But people who don't clean their guns and oil their guns correctly and oil the right spots, usually that's what they run into. So for me, I've never had my guns jam on me. None of the times I went to the range because I do that. And my thing is this: you should do that in a regular. Yeah, you should do that in a regular. Clean your gun, strip all the stuff out of it, oil it. Once you clean it and put it and oil it down. What's the Kel-Tec? I'm not sure what that is out the pit. Was that the gun I was looking at? I'm trying to think, was that the gun I was? Is that the 12 gauge with the clip? Or am I thinking about something else? Well, yeah, I oil my stuff down. I keep my stuff right. And when I get ready to hit the range or whatever, and then sometimes even before that, because I know at some point it might dry out a little bit, I strip it down, clean it out, get it ready, whatever the case may be. But I need my stuff right. And my thing, you should do that even if you don't hit the range on the regular. Every once in a while, over time, if we don't want it to dry out. Okay, yeah. I never heard of it. I'm thinking. Yeah, I never heard of it. And I thought it was something like it. I couldn't remember. It was some Turkish name of a gun that made this 12. That's what I thought you was talking about. It was like a Turkish gun brand, but I never heard of that. If it's the same thing, but I couldn't remember the name. But it was a Turkish brand that made that 12 gauge shotgun that I wanted. But I was wondering if that was the same brand. But I know it was like Turkish people that made it or whatever. I had to look into that, bro. I'm gonna have to look into it. Yeah, I never heard. I don't think I've ever heard of it. I might have and don't remember, but I don't think I've ever heard of it. I don't think I've ever heard of it. You would think I would have, as much as I pay attention. Well, I do, but I kind of stick to the stuff that I know. But Jay, I got a question for you. And in fact, out the pit, I got a question for you too. All right, behind me, right? I got a question for y'all, right? Do y'all prefer red dot or scope? If you're in the rifle, red dot or scope? Well, red, but that actually has a red and green dot. Like you can switch it from red to green. Oh, okay. That one actually has you can switch it from red to green on that one. So if, let's say you shooting at a target and it has red and you really can't see it, you can turn it to a green dot and it'll be a green dot. So it actually has both colors in it. But so Jay says red dot. Red dot in the light. And I thought I did too. And now I don't. I thought I did too. I was like, oh, I'm going to get me a red dot and this and that. I hate them. Yeah, and started out, I wanted a red dot. But after using them both, I'm kind of like, I'd rather have the scope with the light. Like how Jay said he liked the red dot with the light. I prefer the scope with the light. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like short barrel guns. So mine I think mine's are like 16-inch barrels. But I like the scope for some reason. For me, I like the scope better. And I think my mistake with this one is it got too much going on. I probably would like the red dot just as much, but I think with this one, I'm not taking it apart. I'm not changing it because that was like my first kind of put together. So I'm gonna get me another one. But I think it's because I was doing too much for no reason. And when I was trying to sight that red dot in and sight this in and sight, it was sighted in pretty good, but it's easier for me to sight in the scope than it is that red dot and stuff. So I was just like, this is too much. I like the scope. So that's why I got to the scope part, because I was like, this is too much. But I think it's just because I have the beam on there and I got the iron sights and then I got the red dot in there, and it's just trying to line all of that up at one time just turned into more frustration than anything. So I think that's what kind of turned me off. So I think I'm eventually getting me another AR. I just haven't figured out which one at some point anyway. But yeah, I need it on that one, Jay. Yeah, I need it on that one. Yeah. Well, yeah, that one, like I said, that one, it has a knob for both. So if I was on there and I wanted red, I could turn it red, or I can turn it green. Jay, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. Real talk. That 5.56, you know, you can do that all day. You can shoulder that thing. That 458 is a different animal. When I say it, that 458 is, it almost feel like shooting a 12 gauge. Not as hard as a 12 gauge, but it's almost up there. But I really, the chop pad is more for accuracy. Even though I don't need it, it's more so for accuracy. But when especially when I was sighting that in, it gave me to keep it kind of stable. But man, when I say, yeah, you're right. Because I remember the first time I was shooting it, and I shouldered it. I think I ran about 10 rounds. I had to put it down for a little bit. My whole shoulder was all bruised up because I was like, whoa. But you got something. I know it looks small on camera. But this is that thing got some kick, man. That 458 got some kick. I don't know if you ever shot one before, but if you ever get a chance to, don't pass it up. You're gonna love it. Don't pass that up. You don't want to pass that up, man. You're gonna love, when I say you're gonna love that one. Now the 5.56, but that one right there, you're gonna love that one. If we ever get a chance to get together and go to the range, I'm bringing it. And you're gonna be like, you know what? You should let me have this. Oh, okay. We ever get a chance to get together, Jay, me, you, maybe even out the pit if he could. We ever hit the range, I'm bringing it. That's all I'm saying. I'm bringing it. And then you're going to understand. Then you're going to understand why it's my favorite gun. Nah? You already know how Pennsylvania is. We got a bunch of them up here. But that's like I think I showed you it before, but I know I showed you it before, but you think about it, this is a 5.56 bullet, and this, you see how fat difference? It's almost twice in diameter. This is a 5.56, Jay, and this is a 458 SoCal. That kind of gives you an idea what you're dealing with, what you're gonna be dealing with. Hey, as long as we can do it safely and not get in trouble, good with that too. And you're gonna understand it. Me and my buddy Sean, before I get off here, my buddy Sean, we went and I brought it. And yeah, it's bigger than that, but yeah. It's a little bigger than that, but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But me and my buddy Sean went to we was at the range and I brought it and we ran some rounds and he didn't want to pick it back up no more. He's like, no, I'm good. I said, you want to shoot some more? He's like, nah, no, I'm good. My son punked out the first time, but then he got over it and he was just like, no, I'm good. Now he just, if he was at the range, he'd be enjoying himself now. But it's a little bit intimidating at first, but it goes away. But but ultimately, Well, the inside is an inside range. This one is where I go at is an inside range. There's a few out. We got some outdoor ones too, but my plan is to get the 50 caliber BMG. I want one bad. I have nowhere to shoot it at, but I want one. Okay. Yeah, I want me a 50 BMG, 50 caliber rifle. And that is my dream gun. Semi-automatic. I want one. And I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get one. Yeah. Yeah. They I know I feel you, Jay. Unfortunately, well, I don't have no land like that, so yeah. You know what? Out the pit, I had never been to an outdoor one. I want to go to an outdoor one too because I've never been. All of mine I go to is indoor, but I want to go to an outdoor one because I want to be able to shoot further away and act the fool. But when I say I got my eyes set on a 50 BMG, I want one, and I'm gonna get it one day. I don't know when because that's a very expensive gun, but I'm gonna get me one day. But having that 458, it kind of does it for you. It does it for you. But and honestly, I like the 12 gauge too. But I wish I wouldn't have bought the one that I bought after I got it. But I wish I'd have got something a little shorter. But we'll see. I'm gonna get me another 12 gauge. I'm probably gonna get me a clip fed one once I find one. And when they tell me, yeah, I never been to outdoor. You would think I have, but no, I never been to an outdoor one. But I mean, there's one not that far from me. I just never went. Oh, that's what's up. So when I come down there and visit, you know exactly where to take me. Hey, let me show you something. Come this way. But yeah, man, I want to I still want one. I gotta really do my homework with the 12 gauge. I mean, they're not that expensive, but I do want to do my homework before I end up getting that clip fed one because, like Jay said, I heard this about the jam and stuff too. So I'm like, I wonder if they got that kink out of there or whatever, figured out something. Exactly. Exactly. But oh, Jay. That's what's up. Yeah, I don't yeah, my 458 is my favorite. I mean, I probably because I haven't shot a whole lot of different stuff. Yeah, we all have we have our favorite. Like y'all already know my 458 is my favorite. It's just too expensive to be going to the range with it all the time. Yeah. Jay do remind me of a Mossberg, man. Jay probably got about it. Jay remind me of somebody got a cowboy hat, got two cup of revolvers that he keep on his hip, sitting in the chair rocking back and forth. What you think, Hominy? Getting pretty fast for this, huh? Now, out the pit, He remind me of somebody that probably would have what I got right behind me or close to it. Yeah, out the pit remind me of somebody who would probably have one, probably have something close to what I have. Probably got a couple of. So I'm using younger guy terminology. He probably got a couple of Glocks. The young guns like the Glocks. I don't have no revolvers. Ah. Oh my goodness. So Jay, I know you good. Yeah, I keep the Smith by my. Actually, I keep the Smith in the room. I keep the Smith by me. I keep my Ruger by me. Oh, okay. Have you ever shot an AR out? Have you ever shot an AR-15 or AR in general? See, thing is, I'm more of an AR. I'm more of an AR fan now. It's like I like them more. And don't get me wrong. I'm not I'm not a handgun person like that. I got them, but yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. I like man, they had a real nice one at the gun show when I was there too. A buddy of mine I ran into at the gun show. He was he was looking at a desert. He was talking about buying one. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I like looking at them, but I ain't buying them. Yeah, ARs you gotta sight them in, man. You can't. I mean, like if I was if I was a if I was to take you to shoot the 458, right, and because that's sighted in really really good, you'll see the difference. Um, is a big difference in the accuracy when you sight them in right. Um, but it's also in the quality of the AR too. Like this one was easy to sight in. The other one, it's not really a high quality gun, but it still runs really good. Okay, that's nice. Got a 380. Okay, it's funny. My lady has a 382, but she has a 380. Actually, we have technically the same gun, but hers is chambered in 380. Mine is 9 mil. But she has a 382. It's funny. My lady has a 382. Um, she has a 380 Shield, Smith and Wesson Shield, and is well, we both had the same gun. It's just I have the 9 millimeter and she has a 380. But when she had her, I got hers. We got hers first, and when I went to shoot hers and how it, the features on it, I like ended up buying myself one. But I got the black and chrome. Yeah, it's a big difference. When I say it is a big difference with the scope, like Like I would never. I think I'm a very good shooter with rifles, and if I with that, like, there's a difference with shooting this one accuracy wise as opposed to this one. If I was to shoot the 458 because it's sighted in so well, I'm not going to miss. I'm not going. I can pick where I'm going to hit you at. That one, I might be off a little bit, but with that one, I can almost pick where I'm going to hit you at. That one, I can't. It's not sighted in well enough to say I'm going to hit exactly where I shoot at. But I'm actually I'm not even going to work on it no more because I got frustrated trying to do it. So I said I'm going to leave it the way it is. It's close enough for me, and I'm going to get another gun, and I'm going to make that one better. Yeah, but the scope makes a difference. The scope makes a big difference in the accuracy. And then if you get a cheesy scope and like the vibration of you shooting the gun, depending on the type of scope, it can vibrate off the accuracy of the gun. So there's a whole lot that can happen with that. It's a whole lot that can happen with that. So it's best if you're going to invest in a scope, make sure you get a real decent one. Even with a red dot and stuff like that, because if you get a cheesy one, when you're shooting, every time that vibration hits, it'll move stuff, and you'll think it's still accurate, and it done vibrated so much that it moved off the accuracy of the sighting in where you sighted it in. It's no longer sighted in well no more. You have to re-sight it in again, like often. But so far so good with that. With the 458, I haven't had that problem with that one. But this one, I haven't had that problem with this one. But I had another one on there that I literally took off because of that reason. It's because it was giving me so many issues, but it wasn't staying sighted in. So I just took it off, and that's how I ended up with what I got on it now. But they fun to shoot. I mean, I need more practice with my handguns. I mean, I'm all right. I ain't gonna say I'm bad. I think I'm all right, but I think I got a goal in mind when it comes to that, and I ain't hit that goal yet. When it was somebody I seen shooting the handgun, and they was tearing it up, and I wanted to be like that. So until I get that way, I'm gonna consider myself all right. But rifles, I'm a lot better. But I'm getting ready to get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with it, brother. Like always, it's wonderful. We have a good time every single time. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. Jay. If anybody else is on this live, please give Jay Garcia, which is Bone Crusher at YouTube.com. Check him out the Pit podcast. Please check them out because those two people we're going to be doing a collab together. It's definitely going to be according to Out the Pit is going to be pre-recorded. But if you're not following the channel, you're not going to be able to know. So you got to follow. But when we get together, we're going to do something. And of course, me and Jay have our Sunday shows at 12 noon. And please check out Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare if you're on this live. And, they have their Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare store. Get your hair care products and your skincare products and all the other ones that be on our lives and stuff like that. We're a family and we're growing. And we appreciate it. Everyone's support all the way across the board. You guys have been wonderful. You guys have been great. I really do appreciate it a whole lot. And if you're on this live, please check it out. Shoot Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. Put it in the chat as for you to be able to click the link and know where you're going at. The same thing. And Jay, if you could put yours in the chat just in case somebody's in there we can't see. And Out the Pit podcast, put yours in the chat, and I'll give y'all guys time to put it on there just in case they want to subscribe to your channel and they don't know they can't get there and make it easier for them. And we support each other. And you're gonna get some quality content. You're gonna get quality conversation, and you're gonna laugh your behind off. And sometimes it's gonna probably hurt your gut, but that's what we do here. I mean, we welcome all, even if you don't agree with some of the stuff we say or we do. We welcome the conversation because we need that. We need it. We all need that. Sometimes we talk politics. Sometimes we talk. Like now, we were just talking guns, and we were talking different things, politics, money, wealth, things of that nature, financially stable, free, and those that type of conversation we try to have And I really want to have more conversation about the financial aspect of it, because I think everybody needs it, but I think it's helpful for us as a group, for those that are actually on my channel on the regular. That's why I get on here and I talk about the stocks that I'm buying. And I just kind of give people, I don't tell them what to do, but I tell them what I'm doing. And if they possibly doing what I'm doing, they might get, if I get something, they get something. And that's why I talk. And Brother Jay talks about real estate. And why? Because, I mean, he talks about a lot of other stuff too, but earning your own business, and stuff like that. And you're going to learn a lot if you stick with us, and you stick around. And we're gonna grow all together. And I appreciate you guys following that channel. Appreciate it. If you haven't followed my channel already, appreciate it. And like I always say, outside of anything and everything we talk about, make God first in your life. Have a relationship with God. That matters more than anything. We're going nowhere. We're doing nothing without that. And with that said, everyone, please have a blessed, wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Until we meet again, y'all have a good time. Peace.